Assalamu alaikum. 1800 hours, Pakistan Standard Time. It's time for English news. The headlines first. Prime Minister launched country's first green Eurobond today to generate finances for construction of the Amir Bhasha and Mohammed dams. Economic Coordination Committee approves a supplementary grant of 20 billion rupees for procurement of 10 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine next month. The two-day second General Conference of Parliamentary Assembly of Economic Cooperation Organization begins in Islamabad tomorrow. Chairman Senate says the Trans-Afghan Railway line agreed by Pakistan, Afghanistan and Uzbekistan will transform geo-economic dynamics of the entire Central Asian region. Pakistan has lauded the cooperation of Kuwait in resumption of visas for Pakistani families and businessmen. The leaders of all parties Hurriyat Conference and other organizations have welcomed Prime Minister Imran Khan's categorical statement on Kashmir, saying it has encouraged the Kashmiri people. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Imran Khan formally launched Pakistan's first green Eurobond at a ceremony in Islamabad today. The Green Euro called Indus Bond has been issued by Water and Power Development Authority to raise $500 million to finance the Amir Bhasha and Mohammed dams. Addressing the launching ceremony, the Prime Minister said the government has planned to construct 10 dams in 10 years to meet water needs and produce clean energy. Acknowledging the progress made on the construction of the Amir Bhasha and Mohammed dams during 2.5 years, he said these two water reservoirs will produce 10,000 megawatts of clean and environment-friendly electricity in the country. Imran Khan said the government is effectively working on tree plantation drive under the 10 billion tree tsunami program to cope the challenge of global warming, as Pakistan is one of the most affected countries by climate change. Economic Coordination Committee has approved a technical supplementary grant of about 20 billion rupees for procurement of 10 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine next month. The approval was accorded in its meeting held with the Finance Minister Shaukat Tareen in the chair in Islamabad today. According to the Finance Ministry, the need for additional funds will be reviewed during the next fiscal year and additional funds will be provided accordingly. The two-day second General Conference of the Parliamentary Assembly of Economic Cooperation Organization begins in Islamabad tomorrow. Speakers and parliamentarians from Pakistan, Afghanistan, Azerbaijan, Iran, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Turkey and Uzbekistan will attend the event. The conference will discuss an array of topics revolving around its theme promoting parliamentary partnership for regional integration. In addition, the participants will also hold bilateral meetings to discuss the prospects of enhancing cooperation at governmental and parliamentary levels. Prime Minister Imran Khan and President Dr. Arif Alvi are likely to grace the opening or closing ceremonies. Chairman Senate Sadiq Sanjarani has said the Trans-Afghan Railway line project will transform the geo-economic dynamics of the entire Central Asian region. Talking to the Speaker of Legislative Assembly of Uzbekistan in Islamabad today, he said Pakistan, Uzbekistan and Afghanistan had agreed on the project earlier this year. The Chairman Senate said the project will be the first step towards linking the Central Asian transport network with Pakistani seaports of Gwadar, Karachi and Bin Qasim. Sadiq Sanjarani underlined the need for taking steps to deepen mutual cooperation in the fields of education, culture, trade, economy, defence and tourism. The Senate today passed several resolutions. In a unanimously passed resolution, the House recommended the government to take necessary steps for operating PIA flights between Peshawar and Lahore on regular basis. In another resolution, the House urged the government to take concrete steps for the provision of internet services across Balochistan province. The House in yet another resolution said the government should initiate a review process through all ministries to update the ratio of female officers at senior positions in all the government entities and institutions. It also recommended identifying the gaps in gender inequality at senior level positions and reasons for the lower number of female officers. The House further recommended that on the basis of the review of the government should take immediate measures to increase the number of women officers at decision-making positions at all levels in the federal government. This is Radio Pakistan. Pakistan has lauded the cooperation of Kuwait in resumption of visas for Pakistani families and businessmen after a decade-long suspension. In a statement issued today, Foreign Office spokesperson Zahid Hafiz Chaudhry said Pakistani businessmen residing in other Gulf countries can now avail online visa facilitation for entry into Kuwait. He said at present, owing to the COVID-19 related travel restrictions, only Kuwaitis are allowed to enter Kuwait. However, there is exemption for medical professionals. The spokesperson said the relevant Pakistani and Kuwaiti authorities are also working jointly to chalk out a mechanism for export of manpower in various fields from Pakistan. The Kuwaiti government took the decision to restore visas for Pakistani during a meeting between Kuwaiti Prime Minister Sheikh Sabah Al Khalid Al Sabah and Interior Minister Sheikh Rashid Ahmed in Kuwait City. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, all parties Hurriyat Conference and other Hurriyat leaders and organizations have welcomed the categorical statement of Prime Minister of Pakistan Imran Khan on Kashmir, saying it has encouraged the Kashmiri people. In a statement, the all-party Hurriyat Conference Working Vice Chairman Ghulam Ahmad Gulzar lauded the sincere efforts done by the government of Pakistan to resolve the Kashmir dispute, keeping in view the huge amount of sacrifices given by the people of Kashmir to end up the Indian illegal occupation. Other Hurriyat leaders and organizations said that Prime Minister Imran Khan, during hearing live calls, stated that any trade relations with India in present circumstances will be tantamount to betray the sacrifices of the Kashmiri people. In Afghanistan, 16 militants were killed while 8 others arrested in security forces in Kunduz and Helmand provinces. In a statement, Ministry of Defence said in northern Kunduz province, the security forces killed 12 militants and arrested 8 others in another operation, where 4 militants were killed and 2 wounded after Afghan Air Force Taliban hideout. Britain has announced plans to accelerate its relocation of Afghan staff who worked with the military and other families ahead of a planned withdrawal of US-led NATO forces. More than 3,000 Afghans are expected to be resettled under the accelerated plans. Saudi Arabia has vowed to exert all efforts to alleviate the suffering of Yemeni people and to end a crisis to achieve security and stability in the region. In its editorial, Al-Bilad, the newspaper said that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia continues its efforts to achieve the political solution to Yemeni crisis, to end the Yemeni crisis. The editorial, Saudi Arabia also continues its humanitarian work through King Salman Humanitarian Aid and Relief Center and the Saudi Development and Reconstruction Program for Yemen. Iran says it is continuing talks with Saudi Arabia in a good atmosphere in the hope of reaching a common understanding on all issues. Talking to media in Tehran, Foreign Ministry spokesperson Saeed Khatibzadeh said, "We hope that these talks can achieve a common understanding between two countries to resolve all outstanding issues." And finally, the weather. Hot and dry weather is expected in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. However, rain, wind and thunderstorm is expected at isolated places in Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Upper Punjab, Gilgit-Baltistan and Kashmir during evening and night. To end the news, here are the headlines once again. Prime Minister launched country's first green Euro bond today to generate finances for construction of Damir, Bhasha and Momand dams. Economic Coordination Committee approves a supplementary grant of 20 billion rupees for procurement of 10 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine next month. The two-day second General Conference of Parliamentary Assembly of Economic Cooperation Organization begins in Islamabad tomorrow. Pakistan has lauded the cooperation of Kuwait in resumption of visas for Pakistani families and businessmen. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analyses, log on to our website radio.gov.pk.